Hey guys, welcome to Peaceful Yoga. So, I have been getting a lot of feedback from you guys, and based on that feedback, I have decided to reduce the length of this class. And I'm thinking we're going to keep it somewhere around 30 to 45 minutes. I haven't quite decided. And what helped me finally decide is that no one logged on tonight, which kind of confirms a hunch that I've had. And that, let me just say, I fully understand, is that an hour is just too much at home. My 30-minute classes are doing great. My 45-minute classes are doing very good. The hour classes keep tapering off, and I get it because I equate it to my studio. I love my studio. I love to teach in my studio. I love to be in my studio. I do not like to practice yoga myself, my personal practice in my studio, because I lay on my mat and I see a dust ball in the corner, or I look over at someone else in class and I feel like they need something from me, or I hear a noise and outside of the studio and I feel like I need to go check on it. So I get it. You're in your home and there's so many things that are tethered. There are emotional tethers, there are obligations, and there's so many distractions. I've had so many people log off and message me and say, I'm sorry, somebody was at the door, or this or that. So that's what we're going to do. Unless if I just get a huge influx of messages that says, please, no, keep the hour class, then that is my goal. We're going to make these classes shorter. And tonight, I'm going to make this class really short since nobody's here. And my goal is everybody who had intentions of logging on tonight will have a chance to just power through something in the next couple of days and feel good about their practice, and then be ready for the weekend. And then we'll try out more than likely 45 minutes next week. We'll see how it goes. We'll scale it back more if we need to. So with that in mind, we are going to start in a standing position. We're going to start in mountain pose. So in mountain pose, we want to firmly root our feet. Press down through the four corners of each foot. So you're gently pressing down through the big toes, your pinky toes, and each corner of your heels. So from here, soften your stance, but make sure your legs are nice and solid and supportive. Engage your core, open your shoulders. Position your chin directly over your chest. And breathe. With each inhale, see if you can make something a little longer. With each exhale, see if you can sink a little deeper into your mat. We're going to be here for a couple more breaths. All that noise in your head, all those little tethers, the dust balls in the corner, let them float out of your head. Nothing exists right now but you and your mat. On your next inhale, arms come overhead. Reach up nice and tall, and then let your right hand catch your left wrist. Exhale to the right. And inhale tall. Exhale to the left. One more time each side. Inhale long. Exhale to the left. Really, or sorry, the right. Really lengthen the left side of your body. Inhale up. And one more time to the left. Press that right foot down. Get nice and long through the right side. Inhale long. And exhale, fold down. We're going to hang out here for a couple of breaths at the front of our mat. So right here, kind of sway side to side. Do whatever feels good, but make sure you don't have these legs locked out. You want just the most softest, tiniest bend in the knees. And on your inhale, come up halfway. And exhale, fold down. Again, inhale halfway. And exhale, fold down. One more time, inhale halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to come into tree pose. So get grounded in the right foot. As you shift the weight off of the left heel, pull the right hip in. Engage the core, rotate the knee out. And as you start to slide that left foot up the inside of the leg, lift up through the center of the body and extend your arms overhead. Maybe look at the ceiling. Notice how that automatically challenges your balance a little bit more. And lower. Shift the weight into your left foot. Pull that hip in. Get long through the center of the body. Rotate the right knee out and start to slide that right foot up. Keep getting taller through the center of the body. Extend the arms up. Soft knee, engaged core. And exhale down. Big inhale up. And exhale, float down, standing forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold down. And step back into down dog. So while we're in down dog, I just want to explain with the shorter format, with the shorter time format, sometimes in yoga, we like to have like a nice solid 10 to 15 minutes to really ease into our practice. And so sometimes it can feel a little icky to work harder, faster. So you have a couple of options. When you take a shorter class like this, you can take a walk, you can do a couple like little vinyasa flows before class, or you can really embrace it and accept that psychological challenge that comes with it. One more breath here. And on your next inhale, step your right foot forward. Keep this back heel up and see if you can lift up through the chest and really flatten the back. And then inhale up to crescent pose. So get nice and long here. One more big breath. And on your next exhale, you're going to fold forward, hands come in front of the right foot, and left foot lifts up for standing split. And breathe. Really get that left thigh parallel with the mat. We're not trying to get the leg as high as we possibly can here. And step back into warrior one. So in warrior one, the left toes are pointed towards the left front corner of the mat. Bend into the right knee. Inhale, lift up through the chest. Extend the arms up overhead. Make sure the shoulders are rolled back and down. Big breath here. Make sure you're not locking out that left knee. You should have the most gentle little micro bend in it. And exhale, fold down. step back into plank. Big breath in plank. And then bring the knees down to the floor and slowly lower down. Slide the hands forward for Sphinx. So elbows are directly under the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. Pull up on the mat to really lift up through the chest. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Press the pelvis into the mat. Nice neutral neck. So chin is not lifted, it's parallel with the floor. Pull in the belly button. So we're really engaged here, but at the same time, we're trying to find a softness in this, especially in our lower back. One more big breath here. And exhale, fold down. Bring the hands to either side of the chest. On your next inhale, press up gently. Roll the shoulders back and down. Lift the chest for cobra. And exhale down. Press up into plank and back into down dog. Couple big breaths here. On your next inhale, step the left foot forward. Lift the chest. See how flat you can get the back. And then inhale up to crescent. Roll the shoulders back and down. Really lift up through that chest. This is key here. It helps keep the diaphragm open. It helps to lengthen the spine. And on your next exhale, hands come on the mat in front of the left foot. We push off the right foot and come into standing split. So right thigh is parallel with the mat. We've got a softness in our left knee. Our left foot is grounded. 2 more breaths. And step back into warrior one. So right toes are pointed towards the right front corner of the mat. We bend into the left knee. Keep those shoulders rolled back and down as you lift up through the chest, and then the arms inhale up. Micro bend in the right knee. Make sure that right knee is not locked out. Big breath. One more breath here. And exhale the hands down, step back into plank. Big breath in plank. And lower down. Hands stay on either side of the chest. Roll the shoulders back and down, elbows point back. Inhale, lift up through the chest. Keep those shoulders pulled down the back. And exhale down. Press up into tabletop. Feet together, knees apart, sink back into child's pose. So in child's pose, really walk the hands out long. We're going to make this more of an active child's pose. And after you've got the hands out as long as you can get them, pull the shoulders back and down. And then kind of play around with rotating the underarms, almost kind of out a little bit, and then back in a little bit. And see how this changes the stretch in your shoulders. It's a very gentle, subtle movement. One more breath. And inhale forward. We're going to come all the way to a seated position. So we're going to start with a reverse tabletop. So again, with this shorter format, our bodies also have less time to get warm. So we really want to be mindful of what our joints are doing and what they might not want to do. Whereas after you've gone through like a 45-minute flow, your shoulders and chest may be opened up enough where reverse tabletop feels fine. Whereas right now, it doesn't feel like your body wants to go that way. And be mindful of that. So we're going to bring our feet about hip distance apart. And for most people, you're going to turn your fingertips towards your feet. Now, every once in a while, somebody's going to be made where fingertips pointed back feels more natural. So really pay attention to that. So we're going to keep our shoulders rolled back and down. This is really key here. And for some people, you may want to just come up just like this. Like just barely bring the hips up off the floor, pull the belly button in and hold right here. But if it feels okay, we're going to extend the hips up and we're going to hold. We're going to pull the belly button in. We're going to squeeze our behinds because what happens almost right away is our hips start drooping as soon as we're not paying attention. So we're going to keep squeezing and keep lifting. And breathe, breathe, breathe. And slowly lower down. And sit up for boat. Sit up nice and tall. Roll the shoulders back and down. Walk the heels in. Lift up through the chest. And see if you can release the legs and keep that lift in the chest. And maybe you ease back a little bit and see if you can still keep that same lift. So from here, you may want to stay right here. Or if you feel strong enough, you may want to drop down into canoe and come back up. Couple more. And let me clarify, when I say you feel strong enough, every day, even hour to hour, you're going to feel different. So some days, heck, you might not feel psychologically strong enough to do something today because something like this requires a lot of focus and clarity. So just to make sure that speaking to your wise mind and not your ego when you ask yourself, do I feel like I have the strength for this? One more. Come up and lower all the way down. Both feet are pressed firmly into the mat, about hip distance apart, and make sure you're not trying to pull your feet up as far as you can. You want a nice, easy distance. Press your arms into the mat, hips come up. Make sure the knees are in line with the hips. Squeeze your behind. You may want to interlace the fingers and walk the shoulders together. The more you can squeeze your behind, the more it's going to help support your spine and give your hips a little bit more of a lift. One more big breath here. And slowly lower down. Bring your left ankle to your right knee. And then from here, take your left hand and just a couple of times gently rock that left knee open and see how that feels. You can even kind of nudge that left knee towards the ground. And you may find your perfect hip opener right here. Otherwise, you can start to pull that right knee in towards your body. And you may want to thread your left arm through your leg, and then your right arm comes around the other side and interlaces under your leg. Or if you're feeling super bendy, you can interlace your hands around the right shin. Relax the head down. And play around with flexing the left foot. See how that feels. You can even rock gently side to side. You can even rock all the way over on the right side and use your right elbow to kind of like a kickstand. And this can be a really good hip stretch or hip opener for your left hip. And slowly unwind, other side. Okay, we're gonna start the same way we did on the first side because again, no two sides of our body are the same. So one side might want something totally different than the other. So we're gonna take the right hand and press that right knee open. See how that feels. Maybe rock the right knee slightly towards the floor. See how that feels. If you feel like you got a little bit more in you, pull the left knee towards the body. Either interlace the hands under the left thigh or over the left shin. Relax the head and the neck. Try flexing the right foot. See how that feels. And then maybe from here you want to drop to this left side. Use the left elbow as a kickstand. And slowly release. Now we're going to extend the left leg up in the air and then just walk this walk both hands up the leg and just play around. Don't feel like you've got to get it totally straight either. You can bend the leg, you can move it in different directions. That's another thing we tend to do is we get in this really linear position where we're just stretching along this one chain. So don't be afraid to really have some movement in your stretches because a lot of times we're going to hit things we don't usually hit, especially if we're always doing that linear stretch. Okay, now we're going to stretch the right leg out long on the floor, bend the left knee, and then drop it over to the right. You can gently turn to look at the left hand if that feels good. And then slowly unwind. Extend the left leg out. Extend the right leg into the air. Grab the right leg behind. Stretch in one direction, the other, any old way you want to. Just do what feels good. And then extend the left leg out long. Right knee drops to the left. Really get long through the spine. Maybe turn and look to the right if that feels good. And then slowly unwind. Grab the right foot in the right hand, left foot in the left hand, and gently rock side to side for happy baby. If this is not accessible for you, bring the hands behind the knees. We're really trying to get the knees wide here. And then extend the legs long. Arms fall gently out to the side and make your way into your final relaxation. Let's turn back to that breath. As you inhale, start to lighten the front half of your body. Almost like it's lifting up. As you exhale, let the bottom half of your body sink deeper into your mat, deeper into the earth. Once more, rest your awareness on your breath. Notice the ease in which it moves in and out of you. Tune into your body and notice, without judgment, without trying to change anything, any sensations. Could be a tightness, or maybe a little bit more ease, maybe a tingliness. Just observe. Now observe any sounds in your environment, any feelings, the feeling of your body pressing into the floor. These are the little steps we take to more fully inhabit our bodies. One little ounce of awareness at a time. Begin to make movements in any way that feels right. And then maybe you want to pull your knees into your chest and roll around, or maybe you want to stretch your arms and legs long in opposite directions. Perhaps you want to come on to one side and curl up in a ball for a minute. And then as you feel ready, you'll press up into a seated position. I invite you to bring your hands to heart center to find that point at your heart center where love and peace live. And once you access it, you can start by expanding it into your body, into your mind, and then into your home, into your neighborhood, your city, your country, and the world. I thank you for sharing your practice. Namaste.